Good delegation makes people feel both clear and trusted in modern organizations where speed, clarity, and trust are invaluable assets. Delegation is not just about assigning tasks, it's the art of doing. A great leader is not someone who does everything, but someone who makes expectations clear and helps others feel valued in fulfilling them. Yet, many still confuse tasking with entrusting. The former is technical. The latter is cultural and emotional. So what makes delegation truly effective? Where it creates both clarity and trust. Good delegation doesn't just move work forward, it moves people forward. The one who delegates well doesn't just create results, they create successors who feel trusted. When someone is clearly delegated a task, they don't just receive instructions, they receive a subtle message. I trust you. In organizations, trust cannot be faked. It only emerges through honest, transparent, and consistent communication. A strong leader knows that to make people feel autonomous and valued, they must understand what they're doing, why it matters, and how far their decision-making authority goes. That's when delegation becomes a human development practice, not just workload management. According to the theory of psychological empowerment in management, 4 core elements define effective delegation. 1. Meaning the task aligns with the individual's values. 2. Competence, they feel capable of executing it. 3. Autonomy, they have space to make choices. 4. Impact, they see their work's real-world effect. When all 4 are present, delegation doesn't feel like being told what to do, it feels like being invited to see or create value. This leads to deep engagement, not from pressure, but from internal growth. One of the most common mistakes in delegation is confusing assigning with offloading responsibility. When a leader merely says, "Do this for me," they risk turning the delegate into an execution tool lacking clarity, autonomy, or even the right to decline. True delegation, however, involves a space for dialogue. The task is explained, the context clarified, the goal CEO owned, and the decision space affirmed. According to a study from Harvard Business Review, teams with high levels of delegated authority perform 1.5 times better than those under micromanagement because they feel guided, not controlled. What's interesting is this: leaders don't lose power. When they delegate, they transform power into positive influence. This is the essence of modern leadership, where organizational success isn't built on individual brilliance, but on systems that empower and develop people at every level. Many leaders fear delegation, thinking, "If I don't closely monitor, mistakes will happen." But the truth is, trust precedes performance. If you only trust after results, people never get the chance to try, and they'll never feel truly valued. One of the keys to effective delegation is the ability to trust forward by setting clear boundaries, but not limiting potential. For example, saying, "I trust you to lead this meeting. If you need anything, I'm here," sends a double signal. I believe in your capability, and I have your back. According to the psychological concept of self-fulfilling prophecy, people tend to perform better when they are genuinely trusted. In other words, trust isn't just an emotion, it's a mechanism for activating positive behavior. The more a leader delegates with clarity and confidence, the more they cultivate a team that can lead itself. Effective delegation doesn't just keep work moving, it builds a culture of competence and mutual respect. When people are empowered clearly and fairly, they start seeing themselves as vital contributors, not just task doers. This is the shift from a task-oriented to a CEO creation culture. Such culture isn't maintained by slogans but by everyday leadership behaviors. Clear assignments, timely feedback, accessible support, and real-time recognition. According to Gallup, Teams operating under strong delegation frameworks see 37% higher employee engagement and nearly 50% better retention. In other words, delegation doesn't just drive productivity, it retains talent. And that's why leaders who cultivate a culture of delegation often live a long-lasting legacy, not because they do more, but because they help others become more. Ultimately, delegation isn't about offloading tasks, it's about choosing the right people to grow with. An organization may function through commands, but it thrives through partnerships. Delegation is the intersection of efficiency and empathy, where leaders don't do it all, but create the conditions for others to shine. When delegates are clear on goals yet free to personalize their execution, they not only perform better but innovate, engage, and evolve. That's when tasking becomes talent building. An email, a conversation, or a word of encouragement, if offered in the spirit of true delegation, can become a turning point in someone's journey. And that's the highest role of leadership, helping others see themselves at their fullest potential. Delegation is one of the highest forms of leadership. When you trust enough to let go but never walk away. When you are clear enough to guide but never dominate. When you understand enough to assign but still let others write their part of the story. In every act of good delegation lies a quiet message: I believe in you. And if that message is repeated often enough, and sincerely enough, it will build a team culture where each person feels they have a reason to strive and to grow. If you believe that a clear task can spark a meaningful professional relationship, share this talk as a way to plant trust in your team. Click like if you agree that true leadership isn't about control, it's about helping others trust themselves. And don't forget to subscribe for more thoughtful content on communication, leadership, and building a culture of trust.